All right, Shane, how about this one? Auburn at number 17, Arkansas. Razorbacks favored by 4. The over-under's at 54. And, man, this game's at noon. Arkansas, I think they're scheduled to be on noon for the rest of time. This will be on CBS, though, because we got us a doubleheader, SEC on CBS. Auburn has won 5 in a row in the series, and that's the longest in series history. And last year, of course, you got to count Auburn winning, but did they really? I don't know. I don't really count that. How about you, buddy? So who you got winning this year?
Oh man, yeah, I'm with you. Let's don't talk about the past, Mike. Let's don't bring it up. Let's bring up some positive things here. You got 2 programs that I don't know. I think they're further along than you would think. I mean, you look at what Sam's done since last year to this year. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting there. I was watching. I was talking to somebody about that damn Arkansas Western Kentucky game. Do you remember that one? I mean, think about it. That's where your program was just a couple of years ago, and where it's turned into, you're beating teams like Texas, you're beating teams like Texas A&M that beat Alabama. I mean, you are playing top shelf football, and has it been perfect? No. I think obviously the competitive depth has really kind of reared its head there. The last 2 losses that they've had, but you still got a really good program, man. And you've got good fundamental football. And I think you got a quarterback that nobody talked about coming into the season that is giving everything he has, man. Mm-hmm. I tell you that who cares about champions of heart, whatever that saying was that Butch used to have. But I'm just saying the kid's got it. And if he has an opportunity to get in the end zone, he's going to find a way to do it. I love KJ. I just think he's really turned a leaf, man. He is an SEC quarterback. Auburn had a rough week. I think the one thing that concerns me about Auburn is the letdown. They played Penn State like crazy, but then they came back the following week and they just ho-hummed and barely got past Georgia State. Mm-hmm. Now, what do they do? How did they bounce back from a Georgia game? Another one I think was the scoreboard doesn't – I don't think it really – Auburn there for a minute, halfway through this game, was in it, man. A couple of things go their way. They're hanging in there with the number 1 team in the country. And I think, again, you're going to have a little bit of a letdown coming into Arkansas. So that's why I've got Arkansas winning this thing. I'm not convinced that Auburn has the ability to bounce back after that tough-fought physical game last week and then go toe-to-toe with Arkansas Razorback, which has one of the best fan bases in the country, man. They haven't gave up on it, man. Arkansas fans will be there. Arkansas fans are expecting to win, and that is going to be that's going to be a hostile environment, and it's going to be a tough one for Auburn to win. And I think that's why they lose, man. It's just the bounce back factor, the fact that – now, I would say this, Mike. If this was in the Plains, I think I would have flipped this score, but the fact that it's at Arkansas, I've got to go them getting the last score. 35, Auburn, 28.
Ooh.
KJ has 3 touchdowns.
1 rushing, let's hope.
No, they're all three rushing touchdowns.
Oh, okay. Well, speaking of KJ, Shane, he's the only SEC quarterback with 1,200 passing yards and 300 rushing yards. So he's doing it both ways. He's really affecting the game. Of course, Bo Nix on the other side, he takes a lot of heat, but 256 passes he's thrown without an interception. That's currently an Auburn record. So, we got a battle of experienced, productive quarterbacks here going head-to-head. Last season, I think that really plays a key motivating factor for them Arkansas Razorbacks. I think the defense, more than anything, Shane, I don't want to say they got exposed last week. I think they just got, where Arkansas has its biggest issues is at corner. And, man, those guys got burnt last week. There's no way to slice it any better. The defense failed in that regard. But the great thing about this matchup, Shane, Auburn doesn't have any receivers that can beat you. Yeah. Outside of, Robertson's, he's all right. He's their leading receiver, the transfer from Georgia. But, he's nowhere near any of these guys that Ole Miss had. And, for all the praise I give Bo Nix, he's no Matt Corral either. So
Right.
I think Arkansas has a big bounce back on that side of the ball this week. It's going to come down to them being able to corral Tank Bigsby and Jarquez Hunter, Sean Shivers in that running game, because I think that's what Auburn is going to try to attack this Arkansas defense with, after Ole Miss had so much success kind of gashing them on the ground last week. That's got to be pivotal for the Razorbacks. It seems like each week Treylon Burks, I mean, my goodness, he's making more and more plays. KJ Jefferson's gaining more and more confidence. I think Arkansas, right there with you, Shane, not only wins this game, but I think they cover. I go Arkansas 27, Auburn 17. First time Arkansas has been favored in an SEC game under Sam Pittman in the conference, and they get it done this week.
Why do you hate Auburn, man? Just kidding.
I can't figure them out, man. 1 week I bet against them, they're gangbusters. One week I say they're done, they win it. You know what I mean?
That's Auburn is a frustrating, like you said, it's a frustrating team to predict. They're not consistent, and it wouldn't surprise me if Auburn comes out here and kills Arkansas. It really wouldn't. But I think you're right. I think you hit the nail on the head. Is we're going to need some passing attack, man. Bo needs some help, or whoever's back there at quarterback. I don't know who they put back there anymore, but they just need something, because that's killing your running game. Is the fact that we're not getting two-dimensional, and we need these receivers to catch the ball. You watch that Georgia game, man. There was so many drops, so many opportunities to get back in it. They can't have that again. They can't do it 2 weeks in a row, Mike.
Right. And speaking of Auburn's inconsistency, Shane, I mean, my goodness, 1 week Bo Nix getting benched, the next he's winning SEC Offensive Player of the Week. Like, how can you can't even make this up? You know what?
No, absolutely not.